Hey there, haven't posted a video in a while. I wasn't gonna do this today, but just because recording takes a while, I just want to get this project done. I'm putting a solar panel in my boat. Now this boat's pretty rough, but I just had the engine worked on over the winter, and it's my workhorse boat basically. Show you what it looks. It's just put this floor in a few years ago. Could use some work, maybe some boards replacing. I used fence boards. I wanted it to be lighter weight so they're not thick, pressure treated. So it was kind of an experiment. So there's the old battery that's dead, is 5 years old. Got all my equipment out here on the dock. I've got an extra solar panel. So I'm going to be hooking this solar panel up to a new battery I got. What happens, I've got an automatic bilge pump, just so I don't have to keep bailing. And actually it's come in really handy this summer with some of the downpours. So each of my boats has the automatic bilge pump, has had some small solar panels hooked up to it. And find some of these. Yeah, there's one over there on my fishing boat. That doesn't put out a lot, and I got two smaller ones. I had these two smaller ones in my bigger boat. In this boat, it's a 1964 Lone Star Medallion. Yeah, it's an old boat, and the motor is a 40 horsepower. It's a 40 horsepower Johnson. I think it's from the mid 90s, and it runs pretty good, you know, for its age. Some of the older ones are less problematic than some of the newer 4-stroke. So I've got all 2-stroke motors. But anyway, what I'm doing, I hooked. I'm trying to find a spot panel. I think it's going to go up here. It'll be out of the way, and I'm going to run the wires along the side, around the back. And here's a wire I'm running, and this is an important feature. This is a charge controller. So this goes between the solar panel and the battery, and it does just what it says. It controls the charge. So yeah, so batteries are pretty finicky. They can't get discharged too low. You'll damage them and possibly ruin them. And they can't get overcharged either, because they'll be damaged. So the charge controller kind of limits that charging. So once it gets to a certain voltage, it shuts off. Solar panel is just sitting there doing nothing. So yeah. This terminal is too big for this ring. There's a solution though. Well, this has been an exercise in frustration. I got this all hooked up, my Huini. I connected the battery firstly, and I don't have a load, so I connected the solar panel finally, and none of the lights came on. So I don't know if I accidentally fried it or what, but I just so happen to have an old charge controller that I had 10 years ago or so. It's a Renogy. I had it in the house. I hooked this up, and it's charging. It's working. So I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to put it in plastic. This one, I bought this one because it's waterproof. This one is not, but I can mount it up under there and then put plastic over it or something. Whew. That was frustrating. But it seems to be working. So I got a mess here actually to clean up. Lots of parts. But the solar panel is mounted to the boat. It'll catch enough light. It doesn't really have to be up at an angle. It's a 100-watt panel, so it's going to be plenty to charge one battery. Ran the wires back around the transom to the battery. Yeah, and I'm working on my fishing boat as well. So I've got the small solar panel hooked up to that. So other than mounting the charge controller and picking up all my junk, this project is over. All right, well, wrapping up the day's project, it went pretty well. This boat, I got the smart battery case for it a couple weeks ago, and I got a new bilge pump. This one actually pumps out 1,100 gallons per hour. Little overkill, but what the hell, I like how it works because it's got a manual override here. And so that works out well. I have it wired to the terminals on the outside of the battery box. Inside, I have this smaller battery. I already had it, but it actually is a pretty good battery. I have 4 of them. 3 of them are now wired into on the house for the DC circuit. I used a cigarette lighter for a quick disconnect between the battery, and I have another charge controller. This one's not waterproof, but I put it down in the box. And the solar panel is right here. It's a small solar panel, and I screwed it to the inside of the hull, obviously up top, not below because that's below the water line. And the wires run under the seat into the charge controller and then into the battery. And it's charging nicely. You can see a little smiley face battery, and things are going good. So this is my trolling motor battery, and I'll simply, once I get going, I'll hook the trolling motor. I put some copper ring connectors on my wire, so I'll just screw it onto here when I'm ready to go fishing. And this has a built-in fuse for not only the USB port here, but also a bigger fuse, 60 amp fuse for the fishing motor, trolling motors. A bit of an effort, certainly, but I want it to be kind of foolproof and dummy proof, so if I'm not here for a while, bilge pump's going to work, battery's going to be charged, and I don't have to haul batteries up the hill to charge them for the trolling motor. So we'll see if it works. Hopefully it does.